Today, we're going to be talking about pronouns. And a lot of people think, well, pronouns is a pretty simple part of grammar. And it is when you're looking at personal pronouns like I, me, they, we, and so forth. But when you look at pronouns even further, like pronoun antecedent agreement or subject verb agreement dealing with pronouns, it gets a little tougher. So I hope that you will take notes in addition to printing the PowerPoint because there is quite a bit of knowledge to be gained about pronouns, but I know it will be helpful for you in the long run. First off, a pronoun takes the place of a noun. That noun is called the pronoun's antecedent. I could say Julie walked into the classroom, but Julie realized that Julie forgot Julie's notebook, and so Julie ran back to Julie's car. Well, there's a lot of Julies going on in that sentence. So we replaced Julie with Julie walked into the classroom but realized she forgot her backpack. And so that makes it sound not so redundant. If you look at a sentence, Jennifer walked to the store but then realized she forgot her money. Our pronouns are she and her. Our antecedent, what's replacing, is Jennifer. Take a look at this sentence. Justin took his car to the shop. Think in your head, what is the pronoun? Hopefully, you chose his. What is the antecedent? Justin. The students brought their backpacks to school. The pronoun, that should be by there, sorry. The antecedent, students. The actress signed her autograph. The pronoun, her. The antecedent, actress. Good. So that makes pretty good sense when you're looking at pronouns and what's being replaced is the antecedent. Let's take it a step further and look at the three different cases of pronouns. There's nominative, objective, and possessive. Nominative does the action. It's the main subject of the sentence. Objective receives the action, and possessive shows ownership. When we look at charts, I have separated these into singular and plural pronouns. So ask yourself, if it's doing it, it's nominative. If it's receiving it, it's objective. So first person, that would be I. How do I receive action? Someone calls I? No, someone calls me. How do I show ownership? It's my car or the car is mine. Second person is you. You do something, someone does it to you. That one doesn't change. You own it, it is your car or the car is yours. You'll notice there are no apostrophes in possessive personal pronouns. Third person, he, she, and it. Each of those does the action. He called me. She walked to the store. It took a long time, okay? Adjective receives it. He did something, someone does it to him. She does something, someone does it to her, and it doesn't change. Possessive, his, her, hers, and its. The dog ate its bone, its, no apostrophe. That would mean the dog ate its bone, which wouldn't make sense, okay? That's the singular ones. Let's look at the plural ones. First person singular was I. First person plural is we. We do something. Someone does it to us. We own a car. It is our car or the car is ours. Again, no apostrophe. You was singular. How do I make you plural? Well, if you're from Texas, we like to say y'all, right? Or my cousins in Missouri say you'ns. But the word you can be singular or plural. I can say, Justin, you need to study. Or I can talk to the whole class and say, you need to study. So the second person doesn't change. Third person was he, she, and it. I make that plural by saying they. They own a car. How did they receive action? I called they? No, I called them. And then the possessive is their and theirs. So you have to ask yourself, am I doing something? Then it's going to be a nominative pronoun. If I'm receiving something, then it's going to be objective. Other rules dealing with pronoun cases. If the pronoun follows a be verb is am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. You use the nominative case. A lot of times we want to go with what sounds right to our ears. And unfortunately, especially if you grew up in Texas, what sounds right to your ears is not always what's grammatically correct. So this sentence, the best singer in the group is she. Is a be verb. The rule says a nominative pronoun must follow the be verb. There's no option about it. Is a be verb, nominative case follows it. If you want to turn it around and make it sound right to your ears, that's okay. She is the best singer in the group. But again, don't go with what sounds right to your ears, because a lot of us have grown up around incorrect grammar and it sounds correct to us. If the pronoun follows than or as, then you have to mentally add something to decide how it's used in the sentence. Is it used as a nominative or objective? For example, Alexandra is a better athlete than I am. The coach likes her better than he likes me. Okay, so mentally, that's with the brackets around what I'm adding. Let's practice this a little bit. Maybe pause the video, do these 4 sentences, and then come back and press play. John and I drove to the park. I'm doing something. I drove. Did you invite both Trish and me to attend the concert with you? I know we've always been saying, oh, but it's blank and I, only if it's doing something. Take out the Trish and. Did you invite me to attend the concert with you? You wouldn't say, did you invite I? Okay. It's receiving the action, so it's objective case. Jennifer and they were late for the meeting. They are doing something. The dog ate its bone, the second one. Now let's try these 3. Pause it, complete it, and then press play again. Patricia asked her about the notes for the test. You look at the parentheses, ask yourself, are they doing something? Then it's a nominative pronoun. Are they receiving something? Then it's objective. Are they owning it? Then it's possessive. In this sentence, Patricia's doing the asking. They asked somebody. Those somebody received the action. She is a nominative pronoun, so the answer is her. We girls discussed the guidelines for the assignment. We're doing something. We is a nominative pronoun. Number 7, call him, and he will give you the results of the competition. The next 3. The instructor was more fair to Jennifer than me. What am I going to do? Than is one of those words that you have to mentally add. So I would mentally add, the instructor was more fair to Jennifer than he was to me. The winner of the contest was she. She is be verb. Be verb, nominative case follows the be verb. The son is taller than he is. I'm mentally adding he is, okay? All right, the next part of pronouns are indefinite pronouns. An indefinite pronoun is a pronoun that does not refer to a specific person or thing. So basically, if you're looking at subject-verb agreement, this is the general rule. If you have a singular subject, you take a singular verb. If you have a plural subject, then you take a plural verb. We know this, and what usually sounds right to our ears is grammatically correct. You would never put a plural verb with a singular subject, and you would never put a singular verb with a plural subject. Okay, they have to be the same. If we look at this sentence, the dog eats the bone. The dog is singular. Eats is singular. The children is plural. Run is plural. James and Jennifer, that's plural. So my verb is plural. Write this down because I don't think it's on the PowerPoint. Singular verbs end in S. Singular verbs end in S. So if your subject is singular, your verb has to be singular. If your subject is plural, your verb has to be plural. So if I said, the girl wants to go to school. The girl is singular, wants is singular. Singular verbs end in S. Make sure you write that down. These are 3 types of indefinite pronouns: singular, plural, and either. Singular pronouns would be anything like anybody, anyone, no one, nothing, each, either, neither, nobody, everybody, one, and so forth. There's only 4 plurals: both, few, many, several. And then there's some that are either singular or plural. What this means is if one of these singular pronouns is the subject of the sentence, then your verb has to be singular. If one of these plural pronouns is the subject of your sentence, then your verb has to be plural. If it's either, we get to look further in the sentence. For the first sentence, all of the money. My subject is all. I never will have a subject in a prepositional phrase. So then I go back to my chart. I look for all. All is either. Only if it is either do I get to look in the prepositional phrase. Money is singular. It's one collection, so it's is. Neither of the workers. Neither is my subject. Neither is singular. Neither of the workers has tools. I know that doesn't sound right to our ears, but cross out of the workers. That's not the subject of the sentence. Neither is the subject of the sentence. Number 3, both are correct. I go on my chart. Both is a plural pronoun, so my verb has to be plural. Number 4, everyone brings or bring his or her sandwiches to the fellowship. Everyone is singular. Singular verb is brings. They have to match. Several of the speakers. Several is my subject. Several is plural on my list, so my verb is were. Sorry, my green lines are going crazy. Each of the guests. Each is my subject. Each is singular, so my verb has to be singular. Singular verbs end in S. One of the members was not present. One is singular, so my verb is singular. Singular verbs end in S. So again, don't look at of the money, of the workers, of the speakers, of the guests, of the members. You're trying to find the true subject of the sentence. And then when you find the true subject of the sentence, you look at your chart. And if it's a singular subject, then your verb is going to be singular and ends in an S. If it's a plural verb, then it's not going to have an S. If it's either, then you get to look into the prepositional phrase, only if it's either. Other pronouns in the sentence also have to agree with the indefinite pronoun. No one in the group had his or her or their projects completed. Well, what's my subject? My subject is no one. No one is singular. So later on, the pronouns that refer back to that have to be singular, his or her. Some of the winners brought his or her or their trophies with them. My subject is some. I go back to that chart. Make sure you print that one slide. Some is either. So only if it's either do I get to look in the prepositional phrase. Winners is plural. So my other pronoun that refers back to that is plural. Many of the artists displayed. Many is my subject. Many is in my plural list. So my next pronoun is plural there. Finally, a couple other rules with common mistakes in pronouns. Who versus whom. I know if you're like me, you probably learned this a couple of times in school, but then you would forget the rule. The way I remember this is who does it, whom receives it. Okay? Who does it, who is used as the subject, whom receives it is used as the object. Okay? Who tasted the tomato sauce? Whom did the committee select because the committee did the action to somebody else? They received it. To whom did you address the letter? You addressed the letter to somebody, and that's why it's whom. Them versus those. Them is always a pronoun. Those is always an adjective. The audience applauded them. Did you eat those peanuts? You wouldn't say, did you eat them peanuts? Again, like I said earlier, possessive pronouns never have an apostrophe. The only apostrophe with pronouns is if you have a contraction, not with possessive. The dog ate its bone. That's not correct. It should be without the apostrophe. The last rule, when a compound antecedent is joined by or nor, the pronoun and verb should agree with the noun closer to the verb. So if you see either or, you look at the second one. So either the panda, which is singular, or the sea otters, which is plural, should have their new habitat soon, because sea otters is the second one listed and it's plural. All right, I'm going to pause, or you can pause the video and complete these and then come back and press play to get the answers. Who made these delicious brownies? Who did it? Whom did you take to prom? You took somebody, they received it. Those pencils have been sharpened. You are supposed to wait in line. The car has lost its value, no apostrophe showing possessiveness. Neither the instructor nor the students, neither nor, I look at the second one, that's students, that's plural, so my verb is plural. Either the first place winner or runner up, it's either or, I look at the second one, it's runner up, that's one person, so we'll carry her flowers to the center of the stage. I realize that pronouns are simple in form, but as you can see, there's lots of rules to it. And probably the part that students miss the most is I versus me and some of the singular and plural indefinite pronouns. But if you will go back and print this chart and the plural chart and the indefinite pronoun chart, I think that will help you when you're doing some of this practice with pronouns this week. I've also combined it with punctuation, and I'm not doing a video on punctuation because it is it's a lot of information, but I don't think that it's necessarily something that you can't print and kind of use for the actual quiz. But feel free to email me or message me with any questions you have about pronouns. And you might want to re-watch this video and of course print the PowerPoint. That way you'll have all the information. Thanks.